family, Nest Academy. A place where families are empowered to fulfill their destiny. A place where families can build legacy. A place where families can enjoy a wholesome and fulfilling life. And more.
Hello, welcome back to our family reality behind closed doors. So today we're going to talk about important issues that happen in the family that starts just like nothing significant, and then it grows and becomes a wildfire. And yes, I'm still your host, Princess Francisca Obi Chimizi, and this is brought to you by Family Nest Academy. So what is family siblings rivalry? That's what we are going to talk about, and how it crops up, and then if nothing is done, how it goes a long way to affect families. Okay, so I grew up knowing that my father and his only brother, they were just two. We are in loggerhead. Even things that should be ignored are exaggerated, or things even if they shouldn't be ignored can be talked about, negotiated. You see, it's blown out of proportion and taken out of family. What we call omona. Many of us from the Igbo side knows what omona is all about. And whenever you bring omona into your family affairs, it's difficult to withdraw it. It's difficult to not say, okay, let's settle among us. Even though they will tell you initially, go and settle, is between brothers, both of you should settle it, but it never remains the same. Okay, because once a sibling have that courage to go outside the family to report another, his or her brother or sister, to someone that is not a member of the family, you have started spreading that problem. The problem escalates because the person that has gotten the information, we don't know his or her interests, and then the next ear that we hear it, and those who have been eyeing the family peace and unity will not take it as an opportunity to ignite more fire. So what are we even talking about? You see siblings who grew up looking happy, going together, and suddenly they start growing apart. It just starts with just one misunderstanding, one unresolved problem, one issue that was not talked about, discussed, negotiated, resolved, and then it starts piling up. Then you see this a sibling remind problem, one issue that was not talked about, discussed, negotiated, resolved, and then it starts piling up. Then you see this a sibling reminding the other one, you think I've forgotten what you did the other day. I would think it's ordinary, and some parents will just take it lightly and say, what do you mean? So you mean you've been piling up what your brother did, you have not talked about, you've not forgiven. It doesn't happen that way. Why we are talking about is so that parents will understand the gravity of siblings rivalry. Is it normal for siblings to have issues, misunderstandings? Yes. But is it normal for it to escalate into rivalry, into grudge, bitterness that builds up over time, that brothers and sisters or siblings don't want to see each other with their eye? No, it shouldn't be. Has it happened before? Oh yes, right in the Bible, from Cain and Abel, Adam's children. What could lead a brother to kill his sibling? Sibling rivalry, unresolved issues. Something must have been happening. It's not just that sacrifice that God accepted that of Abel and rejected that of Cain, that is strong enough to allow Cain to do what he did. There might have been things happening within the home circle that was not taking cognizance of, that has made Cain to build up bitterness, build up anger, and then this one was now like the icing on top of the cake. Oh, so all this while, it has even gone to the point that even God himself had decided that you are the one that is approved. Something must have been happening underground. So you see, sometimes it could be that a child feels that the other child is being accepted more, approved more, praised more, or recognized more for what he does than himself. Okay, where parents share unequal love and feeling and emotion. The truth is that most times there may be this particular child that does everything you want at a prompt. Go and do this. She's running to go and do it. Go and do that. He's running to do it. And there's this one that will question you, that will first say you no, that will first run around and keep waiting for you to chase him around before he does something. Between the two, there's this tendency that you want to show more love, more interest, more royalty. Like if this for what he does than himself. Okay, where parents share unequal love and feeling and emotion. The truth is that most times there may be this particular child that does everything you want at a prompt. Go and do this. She's running to go and do it. Go and do that. He's running to do it. And there's this one that will question you, that will first say you no, that will first run around and keep waiting for you to chase him around before he does something. Between the two, there's this tendency that you want to show more love, more interest, more royalty. Like if this child asks you something, you want to willingly do it more than the other child. It's a natural instinct, but it shouldn't be. It's something we must fight consciously so that it doesn't lead to these two children becoming their enemies, starting from the parents' way of treating them in the home. Never give another child a perception or idea to think that you like the other child more than him. That's where it starts to small like that. You think they are not picking. It may even start from you giving birth to him. I remember when I gave birth to my younger daughter, the older one, I now observed she became a kind of more clingy. Anything you do for the others, she wanted to do. I was like, can't she see that this is a boy? But she can't. And she can see that that's a baby, but she's thinking this one is replacing her. So she needs you to also reassure her, carry her, still do those things you do for her before this new one, so that this one won't become her rivalry. But sometimes under pressure, parents may not even recognize that this one wants similar attention to what you are giving to the younger one, or what you have been giving her before. Some of us will abruptly disconnect from the first one or the older one, and then they are left on their own, figuring things out. They have to plead and beg before they can get the attention they deserve or they desire, and you are giving all your energy, all your strength to the younger one. I know it can be exhausting, but it's something we have to program our mind that this one is still very, very much important as the new one. So you may see children who may start feeling that one child is receiving more affection, more love, more support from the parents than him. These things can crop up from that age, that young age. Then as they are growing up, and if parents continue that way, showing more support, more praise to one child, to the other one, some will even verbalize it. You will never do, you are like this, see your common actions. Even if you don't verbalize it, even if you don't say it, it may reflect in what you do, and your child will perceive it. He will see it. She will notice somehow. And you see some children beginning to withdraw, or some will fight. So you see some children becoming more resistant, more stubborn, more disobedient. They are fighting, they are struggling. Any child in that position, you need to discover why. Okay, so you discover that such children tends to avoid that one they feel receives more love, or also fight them. So what the parents are doing are now triples down to the children relationship. The one that is innocent, that doesn't really know what is happening, will become to receive the result of what is happening. So that one that feel he's being rejected may start maltreating that one, fighting that one that she feels is receiving the love from the parents. Okay, not consciously building unity and love. When siblings have misunderstanding, parents should find a way to get them reconcile, apologize to each other, let them understand that there is a boundary. No matter your misunderstanding, try to sit down, talk about it, apologize to each other, and make up by hugging, by saying I love you. Find a policy or a structure in your family that does not accept rivalry, that does not accept carrying over conflict. When there is conflict, create a platform that allows them to talk about it, negotiate. In fact, teach them until they come to that point where they can resolve things by themselves. Stay back and watch them. Only intercede when you think they are not doing much well, or they are going to go into a fight. But if you give them that platform, you can even create a space in your house where you call conflict resolution spot, reconciliation spot, whatever you call it. So they understand that there is a must, a necessity that when we are having conflict or issue, we must resolve it before the day goes by. That's the spot. So they understand that it's not something that is accepted to be carried over, because siblings rivalry continue to build up when situations are not resolved, or that misunderstanding are not reconciled. They keep piling up. Okay, so also teach them forgiveness. Be carried over, because siblings rivalry continue to build up when situations are not resolved, or that misunderstanding are not reconciled. They keep piling up. Okay, so also teach them forgiveness. Forgiveness should be part of what you teach your children. And more than when they offend you, how do you react? How do you respond? How do you show them, yes, you have offended me. I feel sad, I feel angry, but I've forgiven you. I will not hit you. I will not punish you severely. If I was reading I think Psalms chapter 102, and God opened my eyes, 103. How the Bible said that God has not punished us the way we deserved. And I asked myself, how do I punish my children? Some of us, we are very harsh when it comes to punishment, and we call it discipline. Should you discipline your child? Very well. But discipline does not mean it has to hurt. Discipline simply means helping this child learn, understand what he ought to do and how to do it. Not necessarily causing physical harm. So sometimes we harm and hurt our children in the name of discipline. And you think feeling pain makes them take correction. No. Sometimes most times it puts them into the flight and fight mode. Sometimes it disconnects them from you, make them keep away from you. You become a threat to them. So when they see you, that punishment, that pain you have caused them triggers their amygdala to cause them think of flight, fight, like they should defend themselves, they should cover up, they should find a way away from you, because their brain have registered you as a threat. So we must fight anything that makes us hurt our children in the name of punishment. Punishment does not bring the expected result. Discipline does, and discipline does not mean hurting our children. That is not our point today. So learn to model forgiveness and teach them forgiveness, so that when they are going there to reconcile, they understand what forgiveness is all about, and they are not going to just go there to pretend to make mommy and daddy happy. So they will have a genuine reconciliation experience every time they offend each other. Daddy, also take them there when you think they've offended you, and talk about it and tell them, okay, this will not happen again. I forgive, I let go. And when you offend them and they say, Daddy, you offended me, I don't like what you carry them there. Also ask for their forgiveness. I'm sorry, this is why I did it, but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Have you forgiven me? Okay, let go. And find a way of showing them the need to reconcile. Okay? We need to offend each other. Daddy, also take them there when you think they've offended you, and talk about it and tell them, okay, this will not happen again. I forgive, I let go. And when you offend them and they say, Daddy, you offended me, I don't like what you carry them there. Also ask for their forgiveness. I'm sorry, this is why I did it, but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Have you forgiven me? Okay, let go. And find a way of showing them the need to reconcile. Okay? We need to understand that siblings rivalry is not child's play. It's not. I've seen siblings kill each other for rivalry. I've seen siblings go to the extent of setting each other up. I've seen siblings even putting their siblings' life in danger. That bitterness, when it takes over, it clogs their reasoning, it clogs their conscience, it clogs their sense of emotional connection. It causes people to do a lot of dangerous things, and it's not where we want our children to be. Okay, so let's consciously work on building unity, love, harmony at home. Let's avoid partial treatment or showing one person love or love or care more than the other. You must be equal in the way you treat every of your child. Ask God to help you. Even that child that is not doing so well, pray over it, pray over him or her. Ask God to help you. But you must not be the root of siblings rivalry. I was teaching this in our church Bible study, I think earlier this year or last year, and I was saying what happened to Joseph was caused by Jacob, siblings rivalry, because Jacob was treating Joseph different from the other children. Aside the fact that Joseph came and talked about his vision and his dreams, it started from the Bible said it, specified it, that Jacob loved him more than his brothers. Meaning everything Jacob was in, he was showing so much love for Joseph than his brothers, and they picked it. He even got a special cloth only for him, and he was building up on the hatred they already have for him. Until then, he now came and said, I will rule over you, you will bow your head. That was just what just completed the whole process. But it started from the way Jacob, his father, was treating him in favor of others. So as others, and they picked it. He even got a special cloth only for him, and he was building up on the hatred they already have for him. Until then, he now came and said, I will rule over you, you will bow your head. That was just what just completed the whole process. But it started from the way Jacob, his father, was treating him in favor of others. So as a parent, make sure you don't put yourself in that position, and you don't put your lineage in that position. Don't let your children go that way of siblings rivalry. Find a solution. Stop comparison. Sow forgiveness. Sow love. Sow uniformed care for everyone. Explain things when you are not able to afford it for everyone, for whatever reason. If you cannot, keep it. But if it's something you cannot avoid, let everyone understand. Find a way to get everyone have a piece. If it's cake you are sharing, find a way. Put it on the table. Or pick. Or take. Let everyone participate in whatever you are showing to every child. Behind every closed door, you see families who are destroyed by siblings rivalry, because it even filters down to the next generation. So you will see those siblings who have grown up, married, been on their way on this separate path, and then their children becomes enemies or strangers. You see their children not knowing themselves, or when they know themselves as the children of the enemy of their father. But these are these people with the same blood. So it's not worth the heck. And I will call it a day today. Say in the chat what you must do to ensure that you don't allow siblings rivalry to grow in your home. And I will see you next week on our family secrets behind closed door. Let this secret not be giving room in your home. Let it not be allowed to grow and destroy what you are sowing and what God is set to do in your home. Share it to other families. Let them be conscious of these things that happen, like child's play, small, and then it builds up and escalates on top of the roof. And let's save families all over the nation. I am still your host, Princess Francisca Obicheme, Family Nest Academy, where we empower families to fulfill their purpose and build legacies. Thank you for staying with me. Do have a lovely day, and see you next time. Bye.